Well, thank you very much. We will share this question with my Principal Secretary, Dr. Muya. But just to assure you that as National Treasury, as the Cabinet Secretary National Treasury, we'll be listening, and we have very positive feedback from the public. Kenyans are concerned about the cost of living, and we effectively address this. We've addressed the issue of fuel prices, where we'll be subsidizing substantially. We've been subsidizing for the last few months, and we will continue to do it until end of June, just to make sure that the prices does not go out of reach for the common man. Number two, one very important aspect is that we are aware that food security remains a key concern for us, and that's why we have already allocated resources to fertilizer, and we have proposed further allocation of 2.7 billion in the next financial year. In this financial year, last week we've allocated 3 billion Kenya shilling, and we intend to allocate additional resources of 2.7 billion for the fertilizer to enable farmers to plant their crops in good time, to enable farmers assess, because the price has been rising as a result of global issues which is beyond the confines of this country. The second question is that you asked what will be the revenue projections that we are going to raise from the finance bill. My estimation is about 50 billion. And all of them does not touch basic commodities. They're in the luxury items. Issue of cigarettes, issue of gambling, advertisement on gambling, gaming, betting, and all these. It will give us a net revenue of about estimated 50 billion. Nothing on basic commodities were touched in terms of tax raises. I think the takeaway from is clearly we are very concerned about the cost of living, and that's why we are addressing fertilizer, fuel prices. These are areas that we are looking at. And substantially, the price is going to remain constant and even lower, maybe for the fertilizer.
One would say that some of these proposals are futuristic. What are some of the immediate ripples that Kenyans could expect when we're talking about fertilizer subsidy, or when you're talking about the fuel? Some of these things might appear futuristic. What are some of the most immediate needs that your ministry and the government will be looking into to make sure that Kenyans do not continue to suffer? Some of them are even calling and saying they're buying milk at 60 shillings as of now. They're buying bread at 70 shillings as of now. What is some of the things that the government will do in the short term to make sure that Kenyans will not continue suffering this?
I think you need to realize that from your assumption, it's not only futuristic, but some of these things are challenges that have been with us for the last few months. The issue of fuel. When there's an immediate reprieve in terms of subsidy that the government will be undertaking every month, that's not futuristic. It's current and it's continuing, and we are dealing with it. Even food production, because if we plant now, using the fertilizer subsidy we've given, in the next 2-3 months, whether you are planting whichever type of crop, you'll be getting the immediate relief. And these are things that we are looking at. But also look at some areas that we've already now either zero-rated or removed taxes. The issue of pharmaceutical products, the issue of vaccine, the issue of a number of things that are well captured in the budget. But importantly, we are not able to highlight all this. But when you unpack, you'll identify the takeaway for the common man. And they are quite generous when you unpack that. Maybe the PS can elaborate more.
Yeah, I will elaborate on the point about the takeaways and add to what the Honorable Cabinet Secretary has said. Number one of the things that we have covered in the speech by the Cabinet Secretary is the question about pending bills. Because pending bills constitute a reduction in liquidity. And so by urging ministries, departments and agencies to make sure that they pay all the pending bills,